Alright, you to back up.
Yeah.
If you both get back up, I need to be a nice son, yeah, only with Jesus.
That's right.
Alright.
So, who you was in
Deuteronomy chapter 28
and
and verse 4.
verse 4. Right? So, as we say, you just experience a little technical difficulty, but nevertheless, the work of the Lord must go on,
Right.
must continue.
Right.
So, wherever, as you say, on the oppressed side, we are agenda. We are, as you say, we've been guided by the Spirit of the Most High in Christ. Right? So, let me go back to this. Right.
Book of Deuteronomy, you put it up?
Yeah, let's read it out from here.
Okay. Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 4.
Right.
Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body.
Right, and as we was just making mention, what took place, as we say before, all these curses them that come upon thee and overtake we and brought we to the place where we had to turn unto the Most High, and the Most High sending that deliverer, which is our King Yahushua, to deliver us from all this bondage, all this servitude.
Okay.
Now we see the flip side of it, because now, as you say, the scroll been open,
Right.
the records coming out.
Right.
Where is your identity? As we said before, they have a lot of abortion in the clinics.
Yeah.
Now the Lord bring the coronavirus, and as you make mention, we brought out that these babies and them being brought to light.
Right.
No longer just say you're going to the washroom,
Right.
and there's an abortion you're going to take place. All that cut. Now blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians see the light.
Right.
And as I make mention that in Book of Revelation, as the officer was bringing out, the white horse, the red horse, the black horse and the pale horse. I just mixing them up. Nevertheless, all of them riding, at the same time, and the Spirit of Christ, is this white horse.
Right.
And as he make mention, he say, "Who is not the oil or the wine?"
Right.
Now he making sure that brothers and sisters in this school, as you say, eat and drink.
Right.
And all that is taking place.
Right.
Where the Lord, as you say, would reside, where the truth lie,
Right.
to make sure that this truth continue to push out.
Right.
As you say, to make sure that, as you say, that this 144,000 get sealed.
Right.
He gave the warning to these next, as you say, these next four riders, these next four spirits, that hey, while all the carrying out all the job, all the duty, don't do this. This spirit here doing my job. Now what I doing in the earth, now as you say, as you make mention, he raised Pharaoh up so he can bring him down, so he can show him power in the earth. And as you say, as we know already, say that how blessed shall be the fruit of thy body. Now we see, as I say, we see all women, as I say, during this pandemic, real babies. Real babies. Go to verse 7. Right?
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 7. The Lord shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face.
Says what?
Be smitten before thy face.
What we see happening in Russia with Russia and Ukraine.
Right.
We see happening.
Yeah.
We see the enemies.
Oh God. Love smitten.
And all
That's
only
it.
trying to do, as we say,
Right.
try to hide casualty.
Right.
More than 500. All them big bomb with big missile we see flying.
Right.
And you tell them about this one injured
Yeah.
and that one injured.
Right.
It's, again,
Right.
this is before you face blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Now you're hearing brothers and sisters saying, yeah, what's going on? Well, Muhammad Ali say, that over there is not my own.
Right. Right.
Now we see brothers and sisters saying, what? They being going there.
Right. So like I said,
Go ahead.
when did you know the oppressor and the East Indian and the Chinese and they you know, see black people themselves fighting and say, well, I can't join that war too.
Right.
When did they ever do that? You know?
Yeah.
We have to care so much, so you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is really and truly what we learn to do is be a busybody in other people's business.
And that's why, as Commander General, I'm saying,
Right.
the same my people serve you as a God.
Correct. Correct.
We, as you say, and hate themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Hate themselves here in the captivity that
Correct.
we hate ourselves here
Mm-hmm.
in the captivity that we
Correct.
and we're bringing all the on point.
Really?
When did them ever come and say, as I say,
Right.
let me join with the Crips?
Right. Thank you.
Let me join with the Crips.
Right.
But the next I see the Chinese man say, I join in the Bloods.
Right.
Wait.
At all. It's like
Go ahead.
Or even worse than they, you know, not even say they go intervene. You know what they do? Because I know for sure, them little black boys and they, you know, little sisters and all of that, they not know why to bring no guns, no drugs and all that. So here's what they do. They support the crime lord family, the Russians and the Serbians and all that. To bring in more guns and drugs to give them, they kill themselves faster. While they was living comfortable, wasn't that? Even if they had, you know, gang go with the Serbians and the Russians and all that, they wasn't hearing about it.
See what happened, you know, say they bring in the guns and...
Man, we do have money to bring in guns and drugs and all that. They push that, they make sure that our hotel get destroyed even further. But they had money for the pandemic though. You know, when people was home and they didn't have the money, all of a sudden they could have cut a check.
You know what others say what happened?
Right.
What all these other, as you say, NATO allies and things doing right now?
Right.
What are they doing?
They're just back.
No, they're pushing guns.
Well, of course, yeah, they're giving guns to Russia.
That one that they see over
Right.
now. So the same thing with them doing.
Right.
Now we do it. We now see
Right.
that's the Smith. Now we see the same guns and them with the taking and they're pushing the community. As they say with that article just the other day with the police and find some guns and
correct.
they bring it in.
Right.
For we to kill one another. And they say they run up and bust a shot and we brother. Now what they're doing? They're taking them same guns and them and they're filtering it to their own people and the own people using it and doing what? What happening in front of our face? Now we see in the records there because why? This white horse riding and that spirit in the youth. And this is a time that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians should find the refuge. Should find the refuge.
For me,
go ahead.
So like I said, because I talk about a young man on the boat, and he said, yes, now talk about some people, and he said, there's a perfect day when I start to break down the, you know, things already going on with the earth and all that, game of fire and all that, you know. The man says that perfect day, I say, no sign, guys, because they look at, you know, as the scripture says, the sons of God, you know, waited with earnest expectation. Like that earnest young man there, you know, waited with earnest expectation for the manifestation of the sons of God, you know.
And as we say, as Paul make mention, he prayed that all Israel should be saved. So as this would work now, I just say, pray to the Lord, you know, that He really open the spirit, because now, as we say, as every brother and sister that, and we will read about it just now, that fight that went through that fire. Correct. The Lord carried me through that fire, and He still carrying me through the fire, because now we are, as you say, we have to endure to the end. We end in it.
Correct. That's right.
This is the endurance to the end.
Correct.
So every day, as you say, we backland that demon that we push off through that fire. Correct. The Lord help me push off. That demon just waiting, as you say, they're waiting, and as you say, as you slip, and how much more? 7 more. Correct. Worse than before. They're waiting to come in. And we see example day by day. That's why you see your vessels are honor and vessels are dishonor. Correct. So like I said, as I say, I really because you know, sometimes, you know, as the parable with the soil,
You know, some of them like the same young man, you know, he ain't good and no, but anon. You know, they speedily then. Yeah, right now you jump for joy, take. But if you start at 45 yourself, you know, you have a problem because that is what you have to. When you buy your own son, you know what I mean? That is where you have to say integrity there. And then you got to say, okay, you know, your focus is, and then is when the leaks come in.
Yeah, and I say that this is breakdowns from the general. We didn't just come up with this and the Most High always set men above. Always set righteous black men above. When last you try a righteous black man, you need, as I say, when they pass, he righteous, you ask him who he learned that from. He said, as you say, school of theology and I learn all kind of, as you say, all kind of witchcraft.
Correct.
To trap you in believing a lie.
That's it.
When you had the whole record, the whole book before you, truth. And never turn one day and ask and pray to the Lord, as you said, but turn to these hands, Lord, show me the truth. One thing again I can say, brother, the brothers and sisters in this school, the Lord wake them up because I was earnestly looking and seeking. And wherever he pull you out from, now he warned me, give me that warning. And as we read in here, now we see, as you say in Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 7, now the enemy is being smitten right before we face. Right? So, let me jump to verse 10, right? 28 and verse 10. So we are reading something, as we say, that the Lord is doing something right now in the earth. Now, as I say, all them curses and them that overtake me and overthrow me, now we see the Lord doing something, waking up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He have that place of refuge. He have it. Where you, as a nation that wasn't Israel, as we read in Zephaniah 2 and 1, now we gather him back. The Lord bringing me back. As you say, as you say, not on this numbers, as you say, count how much people you have here. No. Because now we want to make sure, as you say, as you say, the king coming back, a perfect right. A perfect. Right? Go ahead.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 10. And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee.
Right. So now, when this taking place right now, and they're realizing now that black people not getting involved, and as you say, the ones and them about, as you say, because now that class you can just do a little history on Ukraine and Russia, and you see that whole war. It's a whole war. Now, where Hitler and them was coming up against the Nazis and them before now. Because now, when you remember Hitler making a coup, the Jews black.
Right.
So now with them pushing, as I say, homosexuality, Rome, they're pushing that Roman culture, they're changing the image, they're changing the picture as the scriptures make mention, and try to push that. But now when they realize, what's going on, all they're telling me that, hey, we fighting or whatever, but all they understand, all they are the Lord Jews. Now, when every time, when you listen to them talk now, how all of a sudden Bible prophecy just coming out. How all of a sudden these white, as you say, people, or as you say, all oppressor, starting where World War III come out from on them out. Where World War III come out from on it, we them know about World War III. And them only know about World War I, World War II. We don't know about that. Psalm 83 tell me that this was always a conspiracy. That the Jews, let me keep them from knowing who they is. Now you know what happening to them? Now boy, let me don't engage with Russia because that can bring on the war. Let me don't engage, let me don't send fighter jets. Putting on this side now, like you know what they hear what going on. You see them allies, as you say, all they sending and all they feeding them, all they coming up against me. I supposed to just walk in there, white privilege, and just take what I want. Now all they're doing something, or they're trying to, stop white privilege.
Right.
Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Again, Lord, these records is yours, is ours.
Correct.
And the Lord doing some right now, and the Lord making sure that, as you say, everybody going to hear this. Going to hear this, right? Jump to 13. So, these records, as you say, must say again, I commanded generally, the men that was above, holding down this truth and bringing this truth, and passing down this truth, as we say, that spirit, and our King Yahawashi, the righteous men, and that filter, that's keep on filtering, and the Lord show you what He's going to do. Show you exactly what He's going to do. Right? Go ahead.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 13. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail.
And He shall do what?
Make thee the head and not the tail.
You know what the afraid World War III for?
That's right.
Now they're losing a seat after that seat with the holding.
Right.
They read it.
Correct.
Who had the records? Who was holding these records?
Right. Our enemies.
Who was teaching we own records and teaching we a lie or lie?
Good enemy. Formidable one. So like I said, if I may too,
go ahead.
Whichever way, whichever place in history. And that is the sad thing about the Christian church, because I hear one talking this morning that there's disgusting to my soul because she talking about she blessed and this and that, and she talking about things, man, this crime, she talking about which part of the Bible show you that, and that is just the witchcraft part. We're going to teach Jason all that lowering the bar and settling people out. Because they ain't understanding that you see what it is? You have all this here, all this that coming to pass. Is destruction people going to pay. Your enemy is so frightened. They're afraid to even tell people something too hard. As they not bringing out there. They fall on them, you moving so that's them so free with your lip sinners and not understanding the punishment coming and the kings of the earth, you understand? Who understand and all of that, you know what I mean? Man, they understand exactly what they're reading your records and they say they're not teaching us, you know what I mean? And passing down that stupid Christianity you follow to all of them, how we, you know what I mean? Out of sync really and truly, and they very up to speed.
That's
all
right.
the children and all of that up to speed.
That's right. And again, because now the has something in the possession and the no. The no. I didn't say that in the records.
Correct.
And here how we know the no, because they had a conspiracy.
Correct.
The fathers had a conspiracy against it. The fathers teach the children, as you say.
Right.
Who the Jews are.
Correct.
They ain't go do this and ain't know.
Thank you.
Because now you're reading all that. Right. Now the ball, and this is as you say, our white man before how we oppress our book. But blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, this is a history book.
That's it.
Yes, they ain't no oppressor book. They didn't know white man or Chinese. They didn't know it ain't them book.
Correct.
Because now all of them only seeing out of this is long as we keep all it down, we go prosper.
Right.
So they try to say that they do so, they follow this. My dear thing, they follow the apocrypha.
Right.
They follow these books.
Right.
Ezra and all, anytime.
Right.
As you say, going through it, saying, hey, show me that they know, well, hey. And as the Most High revealed unto Ezra, and Ezra, as you say, he brought it out.
Right.
Now we could read about it, because now, as you say, we had the entirety, how he records.
Right.
Just as you say, never give we more than we can bear.
Right.
This is what we have here right now. This is what now will bring me back as a nation, as a people.
Right.
These 12 tribes.
Right.
Go ahead, 13.
That's it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Open it up.
Nah, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 13. And the Lord shall make thee the head and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath. If that thou hearken unto the commandments of the Lord thy God, which I command thee this day, to observe and to do them.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day.
What we shouldn't do?
Go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day.
We should take anything from this and say, well, as you say, the laws are God done away with.
Right.
The laws are, as you say, and all that, you know, what that was in that time. You know, when you watch through the records, our King Yahweh Shai, what you will know as Jesus Christ,
Right.
he didn't speak nothing new.
Right.
The disciples didn't speak nothing new.
At all.
The apostles didn't speak nothing new.
Right.
All what I was talking about, Stephen, as you say, on the deathbed,
Right.
on the deathbed, we was talking about the same thing that all I was doing the prophets are all before.
Right. Right.
Slaying them but talking the truth. So wherever, you know, you all have the forefronts of their mind, it ain't nothing new.
Right.
But the Lord showing me what going to happen, all these things coming out. So now, as you say, these show going on, as you say, the radio program going on, you know, you see brothers and sisters from time to time jumping up with a little, ain't doing nothing new.
Right.
We king let we know, hey, know this. Don't feel the hate or they hate me first.
Right.
They hate me first.
Right.
Right? Let me go back to Deuteronomy chapter 5. Right?
Verse?
Yeah, we was just continue on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 2?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, go ahead.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High our God made a covenant with us in Horeb.
Right.
Verse 3. The Most High made not this covenant with our fathers.
And when he say that he didn't make that covenant with the fathers.
Right.
Now, who was that he was really referring to?
It's like I said.
Yeah, go ahead.
The stiff-necked and the hard-hearted of our people, and the ones that had to die out first before the ones who were obedient will be obedient or should be obedient. You know, but have an opportunity now to do what it is the Lord said to do.
Right. That's all right.
Right.
Verse 3, right? He said the Lord made not this covenant.
Right.
This covenant.
Right.
With our fathers, right?
Right.
You read on, you got a little more.
For sure. Verse 4. Or we don't.
Yeah, Refuge, right?
Right? Who are all of us here alive this day?
Right. Remember now, as we read on down now, we'll get more on it now.
Right.
Now, the covenant that, as you say, he explained in them the law statutes where they're supposed to keep,
right.
what they're not supposed to keep.
Right.
Remember now, Abraham,
right.
Isaac, and Jacob. Because as they go down now, we say, them then serve no other God.
Right. Right.
The only time that's not to happen is when Jacob now, as you say, these are forefathers who are still parted,
right.
who live amongst the heathen.
Right.
These three, as you say, forefathers, them never had, as you say, they didn't know no other gods, but we will read about it as we go. Right? Go ahead.
Right. Verse 4. The Most High talk with you face to face in the mount of the out of the midst of the fire.
Right.
Verse 5. I stood between the Most High and you at that time to show you the word of the Most High. For ye were afraid by reason of the fire. I went not up into the mount, saying, I am the Most High thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Right.
From the house of bondage.
Right. And that's all.
Right.
Right. And this now is this one. Read over verse 5.
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 5 verse 5. I stood between the Most High and you at that time,
So now, as you say, if you go back, you go back in the book of Exodus again, you will see now this is where Moses now,
Right.
as we say, taking that, as you say, that seat or the Most High, giving him that position because now he won. He end up telling them, go back down and let them know you're going on. This so and so because they will set us straight.
Right.
And from the time they set us straight, out the way again.
Correct.
So now he stand up in the midst now. To have that, as you say, that conversation we can bring to us.
Right.
We can remind us.
Right.
And we see this happen throughout the scriptures, the records.
That's right.
The prophets and them. Not everybody, as you say, could, as you say, the Most High can use anybody you want. But now we have specific, the men and them who we going to give charge, one person, to bring this message.
Right.
Because now, as you say, he can spread his hand.
Right.
But now what will happen now? What confusion. And the Most High is not the author of confusion.
Right.
Right? Go ahead.
For ye to show you the word of the Lord. For you are afraid by reason of the fire.
Right.
And went not up into the Mount Seir. Verse 6. I am the Most High thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
Right.
from the house of bondage.
And when they hear that, that's why we always make mention that when the scriptures make mention in Deuteronomy chapter 28, you're going to go back into Egypt again with ships.
Right.
At that time, he was in bondage. He
Right.
was in bondage in Egypt, and now we have bondage in America, we in bondage in Mexico, we in bondage in Trinidad, we in bondage, as we say, that fence place. Now we just, as we say, in bondage.
Right.
Who brought we back there? The Lord.
Right.
Because why? Because of disobedience. Because as we say, that covenant we making with the fathers and them. Go ahead.
Right. Verse 7. Thou shalt have none other gods before me.
Right.
Verse 8. Thou shalt not make thee any graven image,
Right.
or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Right. And we remind them he said, thou shalt not have none other gods before me.
Right.
You keep on warning blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
These, as I say, these idols, these rock that they're serving, the Most High warn me about that. Because now we had a covenant, because he tells me that, hey, he didn't make that covenant with the fathers, but he making that with we.
Right.
Because we fathers and them before, they never serve no wood or no stone. Abraham never served a wood. Isaac never served a stone. Jacob never served no, as we say, no idol.
Right.
But you know who do that?
Yes,
SHALAM. You know who do that?
Right.
We do that.
All right. That's not.
Yeah. Right? And I say, as the big mention, he said, thou shalt have no graven images. Because now it's going on and it's explaining more. Going on and explaining more. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yeah, you continue. Yeah, continue.
No, the Facebook job. I'm going to speak. But the YouTube channel?
Yeah, continue on now. Verse 8.
Okay. 20, that's it?
Yeah, no, 24, 5 and verse 8.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 8. Thou shalt not make any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the waters beneath the earth. Verse 9. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them.
And we was not supposed to do any of these things.
Right.
We was not supposed to do any of these things because now we had warning.
Right.
And Moses, as the man standing before us,
Right.
you know, as we say, because of our, as we say, rebelliousness, brought this reminder to us. Right? Go ahead.
Right. Verse 9. Thou shalt not bow down thyself unto them, nor serve them. For I, the Most High, thy power, am a jealous power,
Right.
visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
Visiting the what?
Iniquity.
Right.
Of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
And we know what take place because now we had, as we say, some of our forefathers turning against the Most High, turning against these records. And he saw it, and it was a hateful thing.
Right.
Because they hated the Most High, our power. They hated him. Because now, if they didn't do that, if they didn't hate them, then now what are they do? They follow these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Okay.
They would not turn to the left or they would not turn to the right.
Right.
They continue to walk after these records.
Right.
And this is why, again, these records will always be brought out as a reminder.
Right.
And this is why, now again, these religions will always be charged.
Right.
And know this, the Lord World War III is coming. Sure. It's sure. No maybe or perhaps, because now it's recorded here.
That's right.
It's recorded inside our records. And this is why we will always bring that reminder. And this is why, again, the refuge for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is in the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
Under Commanding General there. Right?
Right. To reach verse 9.
And that was 9.
Yeah.
What are we?
Verse 10.
Yeah.
Thank God. Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 10. And showed mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
Right, and showing
mercy.
And this is why we must always give thanks unto the Most High, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because the Most High had shown mercy, and the Most High always leave righteous men to continue to bring these records out, to continue to bring these reminders out, that we as a people should not turn to the left nor to the right, serve other gods, serve these graven images and them. Because why? We as a people will always remain, as you say, the Most High jewels.
Right.
Until, as we say when we read in Deuteronomy chapter 28, as you say 15 go down,
Right.
until we do that. But now again, as we make mention, now we're witnessing something in the earth.
Right.
We're witnessing, as we say, these horses and them riding, and the Lord, as you say, already know who they are and who they are in bringing all this truth.
Right.
Nothing else. But standing, as you say, stiff. Men reserve as well as because now, as you say, you remind you, don't get pumped up. In all this are taking place, don't get pumped up. Because now it always are reserved. It always had that as you say, that replacement. When your hands are astray, as you say, as the scripture say, pride is the beginning when one hand depart from the Lord.
Right.
Always bring that reminder to us, right? So,
Are we done?
yes, now.
Okay.
Yeah, read on.
All right, let's see. Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 11. Thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy power in vain, for the Most High will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
And would I show you there? It shows the who try to, as you say, use the Lord name, or as you say, use it for the own, as you say, own lustfulness. You don't feel you won't be guiltless.
Right.
You will be charged. You will be charged. You will be charged. Right?
Okay, so
Go ahead.
as I say that, especially DJs now, like they say, by God, something like, like this way, like how can I say, those swear upon them, all this different. Every time they move, mouth is something different.
Yeah.
Always opposite, always opposite spirit. But because people in them, think that, that blessing, or what is it? That, it's in Timothy, I think it is somewhere. It's paraphrasing. They think that money that gain is blessing them, Yeah.
Real, right? And this is why, as we say, as these records go out, and I know as the men in the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General GEN.YAHANNA continue to bring out these classes, as we continue to, bring these classes to the forefront, the minds of our people. Pray to the Lord that that as we say, you get it. You get it. Pray to the Lord that that show mercy on you. Right? So we will just we will read some again at the little conversation with Christ and Nicodemus now. So we will go to John 3. John 3? Yeah, 3. Right. Because now this is something important as well. So because now we don't want to miss that.
Right.
Because now, as we say, now as we World War III at the doorstep, it's in full play.
Right.
It's in full play.
Right.
And as it go up a little notch, day by day.
Right.
Now our duty now is to keep on, as we say, the Lord doing the work, and He gave me work to do.
Right.
So we have work to do.
Right.
So now what we will do, we will continue to do what we need to do, remind our brothers ourselves. Because as our King mentioned, on these two hang all the laws and the commandments.
Right.
To love the Lord, our God, and to love our brothers. And we will continue to remind our brothers. And as we read now with our King now, as we say, reminding our brother, right? So, 3 and verse. Right. Start at verse 1. Okay.
Book of John chapter 3 and verse 1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus.
Right.
He ruled of the Jews.
Right. And this was our brother. Right. This was no heathen. This was no, as we say, no Chinese, no East Indian. Right. And we say no African. Right. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 2. The same came to Yahushua by night.
Right.
And said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher, come from the Most High. For no man can do these things, do these miracles that thou doest, except the Most High be with him.
And remember, Command General GEN.YAHANNA give us, as you say, this heads up.
Right.
Prepare for this.
Right.
Prepare for this.
Right.
So now, as we say, being a man of the Lord, this will always be that preparation. Prepare for brothers and sisters, coming and seeking out this truth.
Right.
Seeking out to the identity, seeking out to know who it is.
Right.
Because now, why? because of what they are seeing taking place right now, and because of the lies, that they've been overshadowed with, some light commentate. Now the understanding again that there is no African. Now the understanding that God will love everybody. So the churches and them getting empty by the minutes. And as the general said just now, it go turn into a homeless shelter. That all them churches and them go become.
Everyone.
That's right. Become a homeless shelter. Right? So we can house, that's Hispanics and Native Indians. Right? Right. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 3. Or that's all. Verse 3. The Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of the Most High.
And every time, these Christian church hear this word born again, they don't even have a clue what I mean.
Correct.
Why they don't have a clue what I mean? Because who they learn it from? We're not just saying they don't have a clue what they mean, but who teach them this?
That's it. Correct.
They didn't learn the breakdown of this in the school.
Correct.
So that's why when they hear the word born again, they will start to follow all the hypocrisy as our king made mention. Beware of the leaven of the scribes and Pharisees. Beware of that, which is hypocrisy.
Right.
Beware of that. So now the way you have to be born again. Now the way that I just say, we is born again, boy. We is born again. That's like the question that asks. But again, in order to get our understanding, you must come in the school.
That's right.
And that will always be repeated or echoed throughout, these schools in the I.S.U.P.K. In order to get a full understanding, you must come to class. Don't feel you get a breakdown and then you just say, you run and say, well, hey, I know this. And then now what happened now? You didn't take time to sit down and learn and ask what? Ask 19 and 19 to the coming play. People start to scramble here. And licks. Tell you, but you know nothing concerning them records and them. We tell you out. Go on down in the ghetto and try to papi show black man in the ghetto who I just say. Who I just say. Every day the asking the Lord for the daily bread and the praying your Father and not knowing the Lord gave them just exactly what I asked for. Because I don't know the prayer. He said, give us this day or they gain them exactly what I asked for. And that's still on that asking, why this keep on happening to me. Why? Right? Go ahead.
Verse 4. Because they must say unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born?
Right, and he asks him that question now. Because now he hear the word born again and that's how them Christian understand. The thing and the laugh, because now without understanding, without saying down in class, without getting the breakdown, this is how you go think. So I tell you have to be born again. You laugh, you go back inside our mother womb because they just hear the word born again. I ain't even understand. As you say, and that's why, as you say, that white horse riding. That spirit. And World War III, as we say, in the air. Go ahead.
So that is for me. That's what because if you say that's not like the person will laugh now, and it does talk to the car. I think was Captain Nazareth, so it's saying, he's saying, he was having a discussion with somebody in the so-called conscious community, right?
Right.
And they're saying that you have to give black people rituals. You understand? In other words, for them to do anything or for them to follow it, they have to get them ritual. So everything they've been taught is everything is materialistic. That's carnal. So everything they touch, the only thing they can understand, only thing they can see in front of their face. As opposed to the things that really matter, the things that really make up everything.
Correct.
You understand things like I mean, so they wouldn't perceive, you know, especially when they're talking about, well, as I think it is somewhere in Romans or somewhere, I think Paul said, if you don't understand, you know, these things are not can't teach spiritual.
Let me read it because now I will say this is we bring it out.
You see, I pull it up. Just to pull it from you don't understand.
This is why I say we need to get in class.
Right.
Need to get in class.
Right.
Yeah. So you will know again where you stand. Where you stand as a black, Hispanic, and Native Indian in this society. Right. Yeah, go ahead. No, sir. Yeah, go ahead.
For time's sake, you could use this one, but that's not the exact one I'm looking for.
I know, so the read
Yeah, 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 14.
But
the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of the Most High, for they are foolishness unto him. And neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And this natural man as we see, this is just as we know bringing out here. When a man hear the word born again, he thinking he's at a laugh because now he mind carnal. He, as you say, he in this natural state, or as you say, in this worldly state, because now his spirit now take up the rudiments, or as you say, the things that are taking place right now in the society. So now he just, as I say, just in a gaze. And as you say, every pan beat, he want to be around, right? So as you say, go ahead.
So I guess I coming to because I've gone other line, right? Up and to the society. And just watching it, you know how I think about, you know, I mean, like, you know, you know, just watching my people sometimes, you know, some people moving on, but they actually, everybody is running on us. Same thing that, I think there's somebody posted up several times, the days are on, so the days are on, it was society, you know, because everybody is running on, you know, there's excitement and just, you know, this war and put it in, and just see actually.
Yes, that.
Right? So what there is running on, you know, like people there.
Yeah.
The enjoyment, the happiness, just to escape, you know, the reality.
Right.
And I just said, you know, nothing really actually that okay. Lower down the road, you know, or planning or what life will look like this.
Right.
Nothing along the line, you just attached to feelings, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
So again, this person, this natural state, I just say that I want to go think.
Right.
The thing carnal. Because now again, they never really sit down. I just say, and really sit down and listen to a black man really break down these records. And you know, in that same spirit, just like as you say, of our King Yahushua, they're not telling you to be separate. Because that is a big, as I say, a big dot in the middle that would separate. Because now, with the love that, as you say, the love the Becky, the love the Indra, the love that, as you say, all these, as you say, other women from these other nations, they love them. So now you telling them to be separate, they learn some evil. They learn that way you are going on. God made that woman So he made woman for man. So now, as you say, we can have that now. But not knowing now he make the black man for the black man for the black woman.
Right.
And he made, as you say, the Chinese woman for the Chinese man. He make that for no black man. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think it's command journey. I'm going to bring it up plenty.
Yeah.
Why men get tapped with other races and them because they go on one side of them, so they go be wait for it. A second thought for them to do the nasty certain things in the family. You know what I mean? Like how they make certain things like eating or the feces area.
Right.
And then they make that acceptable and some that like way like she going all the way there, And knowing man, it's the same thing, You talk about somebody who sit down and watch a steal on the ground.
Yeah.
Break it up, and you can trust it and eating blood. All kind of different man. I think that you feel extreme and feeling like the freaky thing on the head. No, that the basis thing on the head, so they really learn, what really actually supposed to wait for it.
Right.
Supposed to, wait for esteem. So we're supposed to esteem the really looking at it from last time, because everything is pushing is just garbage, it's just this is extreme, when you actually black Hispanic and native in there, who chase, and still not to keep yourself, probably still, not to keep the attention of a man, as the best way I can put it.
Right.
That is to be esteemed. As opposed to somebody who doesn't use, who can catch anything but.
Correct. Correct. And as you're bringing out, when you read on, you will see the exact same thing here. Right? Go ahead.
John chapter 3.
Yeah, continue.
Verse 5.
Right.
7. Yahushua answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Right, and as you say, we get the precept for that, as I believe in Ephesians 5, we telling you what the water is, and explaining it. But as we say, go ahead, continue.
Verse 6. That which is born of the flesh is flesh.
Right.
And that which is born of the Spirit is spirit.
Read that over again. Let's sing.
John chapter 3 and verse 6.
Let's sing.
That which is born of the flesh is flesh. And that which is born of the Spirit is spirit.
And he making a clear distinction.
Right.
That as we know bring out there, this is where your flesh desire. And if that way your flesh desire, this is how you're going to be carnal.
Right.
And if you desire, I just say to learn or to understand spiritual things, to understand the Lord.
Right.
Like they say, well, as you say, the Christian should like to always say that God is a friend. And the spiritual, but they don't understand spiritual things.
Right.
Because now they don't have a discernment with spiritual and with flesh. They just carnal. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 7. Marvel not that I said unto thee, you must be born again.
And this will be a surprise.
Right.
So now anything that taking place outside of the school, as we say, we didn't just drop here.
Right.
We was just like that.
Correct.
And it wasn't a surprise for anybody who was in the school teaching us this. Because now they already understand the mindset.
Right.
Now as we see, as we move around, brothers and sisters, and tell them, hey, yeah, what's going on? This school is really, we're going to find refuge.
Right.
This school is where you're going to really get your mind renewed.
Right.
This school, as we say, with the white horse riding now, the Spirit of Christ riding now, you could understand who Christ is. You could understand the purpose or you walk. Why it is now you should have that change. Why you should be born again.
Right.
Why you should have that renewal mind. Why your spirit should really turn away from this, as we say, this wicked empire. And as I make mention earlier, the quote in our Commander General quote. And at the end of the quote, he say, give me one reason why this place shouldn't be destroyed.
Correct.
Yeah? Give me one reason why. Anybody can, as you say, you can ask that question to anybody. Give me one reason.
Right.
And you know what the reason they will come up with? A fleshly reason, a carnal reason.
Right.
Because you know why? What they learn to be? They learn to be selfish for themselves.
Right. Yeah.
That's what they learn.
Right.
They didn't learn nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
That would have learned.
Right.
So now this will be nothing of a surprise to us.
Right.
Because now we was once one. Now we could be able to do what to comprehend, or as we said, to have a conversation
Right.
with we brothers, with we sisters, and that conversation will always be in righteousness.
Right.
Will always be in righteousness. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 8. The wind bloweth when it listeth.
Right.
And thou hearest the sound thereof.
Right.
But canst not tell whence it cometh.
Right. So he given as you say, an explanation. He explained it something now to this brother, just like how we just explain to any brother or sister that we meet up.
Right.
We giving them a analogy, or you giving them as you say, a breakdown or something. So we using something, as we say, an element.
Right.
At this point, we using one of the elements.
Right.
We might use, as I say, what you do. You know how we do reach up there.
Right.
You know, it take, you know, as you say, this tool and that tool in order to really get it going. It's now we giving them a analogy of what taking place and using this element, which is the wind.
Right.
So he explaining to him as the wind, read over.
Okay. The wind bloweth where it listeth.
Right. So the wind blow it where it listed. So now any way or any order than that the wind get direction it just blow.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay. And thou hearest the sound thereof. But canst not tell.
Right. So now as we say, you hear the song, but you don't know where it coming from. But all you know the breeze blowing.
Right.
They just hear the song. Go ahead.
Okay. But canst not tell whence it cometh. And whither it goeth.
Right.
Everyone that is born of the Spirit.
So is who?
Everyone that is born of the Spirit.
Go ahead.
Verse 9. Nicodemus answered and said unto him, how can these things be?
Go ahead.
You know?
Yeah, go ahead. So you asking the question, how? Because now you explained something.
Right.
But he just drop it on him.
Right.
And when you drop it on him, now we tell him, hey, this is everyone that is born of the Spirit. And when we read on down, you explain and you more.
Right.
And what take place. Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 10. Yahushua answered and said unto him, art thou a master of Israel, and knowest not these things?
Right. So now I just say, you being a teacher, or you being an example, or being somebody, you know, in the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian community, as a prominent quote-unquote person, and you understand, as I say, this one explained to you, because why? It's nothing. It wouldn't be a surprise to me. Right. Because you're not saying no in class.
Right. I'm right.
You just say asking. Let me say, hey, yeah, what we doing? Who's the true Jews? And asking these questions. So all we asking, hey, yeah, what we doing? We asking, hey, what we are to do today? They asking the slave master, what we are to do today? Because now you just want to just say, I think in Ecclesiasticus radio person say, just live. Just live. You know, we have one life to live, and then we just live. And we live it up. You have no idea or no clue, I understand it, but you're a prominent man, as I say, in the Black community. All right, go ahead.
Verse 11. Verily, verily, I say unto thee, that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness.
Right. Wait. So here we tell him.
Right.
Here we tell him.
Yeah.
See, we speak, right? That we do know.
Right.
What we know. What we know, where we know happening, where happening.
Right.
We know that.
Right. Right.
And what we do again?
and we speak that we do know and testify that they have seen.
Right. What we seeing going on right here now? Everything that taking place right now in these records.
Right.
And we didn't just see that just saying, and people always remind the brothers and sisters, black Hispanics and Native.
Right.
We didn't just see that just so.
Right.
That's why we went and we read in Deuteronomy chapter 5. And Moses was the man standing between.
Right.
You know, bringing these records and teaching us these law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
Now, as you say, Commanding General GEN.YAHANNA, he learned this from the elders come down. He stayed, as you say, he didn't continue on, as you say, holding down this truth. The generals, the captains, the men above come straight down, holding this truth, teaching the same thing every day to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Now we're not just talking something, we know what we're talking about. Or we know what we're talking about because our forefathers before, as you say, men of the Lord, righteous men, talk the same thing. And the same thing, we, as we say, we continue to repeat. Continue to bring out to our people. Right? Go ahead.
Okay. And they received not our witness.
And receive not
our witness.
And this is why now. Why you're not receiving our witness? Go ahead.
Verse 12. If I have told you earthly things and you believe not, how shall you believe it? Sorry. How shall you believe if I tell you of heavenly things?
Right. So he got him one time. And go ahead.
Okay, this is about the people.
Go ahead. Explain. Go ahead.
There was telling things, you know what I mean, that they see what the elements and all that. You can also see, you can understand the story behind it. All you tell you about things in heaven, you know what I mean, like Holy Glory, you want to tell you, you know what I mean, who's this one, who's that one, you know what I mean? You can understand that, you can understand what going on and all that. You can understand like a spiritual man. When the Lord tells you, you understand that you go the spirit of the Lord is something that is what we live in. I know when you listen to it, so whenever that order comes in, as I say, you will. When you get order to go, so doing so. When you get order to do so, doing so. Right? Or you understand that. You know what I mean? If you understand the natural elements of it, you confuse about that. I want to tell you about things in here.
Because you will understand that when you hear about the 4 dimensions.
Correct. Right?
When you hear about that now, as I say, when as in Revelation, when it say, as I say, Christ coming through the waters, you will understand. Because you know you get a hole in that breakdown. You say that master, you know the records. You know Moses, as you say, law. You know it, as you say, you're supposed to know in Genesis. We give a hole in that breakdown, as you say, at the levels of the heavens. The sea beneath the sea, and they say the heaven beneath the heaven, here in that breakdown. Now, if you know you understand this, as you say, this element right here, right now. Now, if I were to explain to you, again, the Lord comment, as I say, with the 200 million angels on chariot, then you will understand that. Coming through this, as I say, coming through the heaven, they will understand that. This is why, again, we always remind, again, our compact class. Because outside of here, outside of, as I say, this place a refuge. You just as I say, focus in some kind of la land, just waiting now to hope. I say the war in Ukraine and Russia will stop. So if it stop, that dying stop from what will happen.
So I guess
Go ahead.
I mean, I want to be interested in the evening. That time over. People say, you know, and they have these pieces and all of a sudden the shot.
So and we didn't just say that in the records. Everything we bring in out is not from we own, as we say, we own speaking, you know, it recorded here. That's why we can talk about it. This is, I just say, this is what we've been taught. This is what we, you know, as we say, from righteous men, righteous black men. Right?
So, yeah, so like I said,
go ahead,
you even have to say that now. Right? You're already there too. as I say that is that a lot of times, just like in the I.S.U.P.K and the command in GEN.YAHANNA, you know, and whenever as they just bringing out with the Christian church, sometimes I like to see things so deep and mystical because a lot of Greek mythology and different little things that might be hearing about, right? Just as how the Lord gave instructions, like in the book of Revelation, where John says, see, the kingdom coming out of heaven. They always had a different viewpoint of what Christ talking about.
That's
because
right.
the things that coming out from heaven, that Christ talking about, that they're rightfully bringing out, is we now holding on to the things that he teach us.
That's
like the
right.
laws, the commandments, and statutes. So he telling Nicodemus, if I explain to you these basic things here, then when I started telling you about stop eating pork, crab, lobster, and shrimp, start telling you about brotherhood, you can receive that because you're not seeing the value at these things. You understand? Because even the earthly things, you have no idea about it. And I read the scripture because as a reading the Lord want me to start explaining, you know, what it is that happened to him. What have to happen to his Slovakia? In a little parable. And that is what Black Native Indians and Hispanics start to understand. Because the scriptures, this is what spiritual. The laws is what spiritual. And that's what we are really being spiritual. I don't want to kind of touch on that. Because that really, and even with that, that's what bring a big point. We're watching we call the place again, Ukraine, and these places with the wars and so forth. These things is making us to know the signs that are coming at the Most High. But these things is not pertaining to us because that is to destroy the white man's kingdom. We in something separate. You know what I mean? So like I read every point and a nice passage of scripture. You know,
Christ, so that again, you know. And again, I just say, oh, let's bring in the more again. I just say every point that I just say, brothers bring out. I just say, it bringing us to the place now where we know we really seeing our refuges. Refuges, and as we read the meaning, the definition of refuge, again I read it over. You know, the definition of refuge, the state of being safe, right, or sheltered from pursuit, danger, or difficulty.
That's right.
So now we see in that place a refuge. And as again, as they rightfully bring out, as brothers continue to bring this out on a daily basis, and as you say, the generals and them continue to, as you say, to bring it out, and as you say, continue to feed the flock, and as you say, there we go there. There we go.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So like I said, right? You're not saying that now. This is something else, what, right? Commandment generally and always talking about brotherhood. From the inception. And he mentioned something in one of the classes he's teaching to. And he's saying about time to come. We the schools now will start to floor out. He said you are building all up on the ceiling. Right? Because this is what is happening to black people. When he generally talking about brotherhood, right? Due to as saying sometimes the spirit of the white man and that slackness coming economy, he doesn't consider that to be the most important thing. Until what? When they started getting bombs dropping in Ukraine, everybody wants to start a polish shop. And that is what the Lord says. He will catch a lot of people as a thief in the night. Because these things that the generals them keep bringing out, a lot of times they not be taken serious. But as a bomb drop, everybody might shake up a little bit. I'll ease come, we give up slack again. So we move into the white man tide and not with the tide at the I.S.U.P.K under command in GEN.YAHANNA. Two things drop again, we tighten up again. It ease off and we ease off again. So that passage of scripture we bring in there are one really heavy. Because then we have to understand, we are looking to instructions that is given from the men above us. You understand what I'm saying? No, that really heavy. You understand? Because that is what will bring me to that place. Because as much as people want to shock and jive and feel that's something more important than brotherhood, come in. You understand what I'm saying? Again, that is I say, tell them, oil up the sewing machine. You catch him and get up where you are. You understand? Before you mention I'm still up. Yeah, get the family, you mention we call it again, the pay for the winter. Nobody in the journal to study. You catch him, but when the things start to shake, now everybody running and scrambling. You understand? That is why a lot of times we doesn't really understand we doesn't understand what really is following instructions. Just follow the instructions. You understand? And trying to kind of we are yes, so like yeah. That's what they are like.
Let's pick up.
Reach out.
Yeah.
Those
11 or 12.
those 11.
Yeah.
Come, right?
Yeah.
Verily, verily, I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness.
Right.
If I have told you earthly things, and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you heavenly things?
Right. And as you say, let me just explain that whole thing now. Now, as I say, now is the time for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian to really log in. To really, as you say, seek that refuge. Seek that place, as you say, where you can really get the full understanding and understand where really loving your brother is. Really loving, as you say, your sister is. Really loving your people is. Your nation is. Because now, as Megan mentioned earlier in the class now we see the war going on over in Russia and Ukraine. Now we see where white people fleeing. They as I say, they ain't fleeing to, as you say, oh, we flee to West Africa. They flee to Poland. They flee into all them places and them where they go have people similar to them. Die the brothers. So now so now you seeing it and it's clear. It's clear, and this is something that we're witnessing because now, as we say, Christ come now, as you say, or King Yahushua come now, and he break the seal. Now, as we say, we see everything, as you say, all the blessings from Deuteronomy chapter 20, from 1 to 14. We see that come to pass. We see things before we are. We see, as we see, witnessing these, as I say, white people slaughtering one another. They're trying to hide it. But now, as I say, the social media now, it's in the open.
SHALAM.
So you can't hide nothing now because everything in the open. Now you can just press a button and you see now, a bomb fly across, and you see white people just flipping in the air. They can't hide it. The king let we know, hey, this is our blessing. We go see them coming up against one another. Right? Yeah.
So I guess
go ahead, yeah.
When I say at that point, right? You know, it has been centuries. You know, and all since the how we know they're writing it. You know, when you would see our people, you know, as they want suffering, starving, most destitute,
right?
You know, war torn. I know I say, why I was shy that you can see it.
Right.
On the other side.
Right.
But we see their babies crying, their mothers mourning, their fathers crying for their sons and their daughters. Where they had no pity over us. And they themselves were doing that to us. Dashing our babies against the stone. You understand? Cutting them in half. All these atrocities they did to our people. And they had themselves not guilty. But now, thanks to the Most High, that you see the vengeance of the Most High, mercy of the Most High coming upon the nation of Israel.
That's right.
To bring back that vengeance. Not at our hands, but at the Lord's hands.
Correct. Right, you continue on.
Verse 13. And no man had ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven, even the Son of Man,
right, which
is in heaven.
Right. So now we, as you say, he just go in, as you say, he go in with the motion, with the flow, and as you say, he breaking it down as best as he could. So you know, and praying to the Lord, at least he catch it, because now again, in all we doings and in all, as you say, in all these breakdown, and you say, explain to our brothers and sisters, our main duty is to remind them, as we say, to bring this to the forefront and let them know, hey, this is who he is. Because now, as I say, might be living as a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man, but now you don't have a clue because now you're claiming to be, as I say, either Spanish, or either African, or either, as I say, well, I mix with this. This is why now again, The only place of refuge is in the I.S.U.P.K. The only place. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up.
Right. And that went in the way, he gave a full in-depth what going to take place in order for we to really experience what we experience in here right now. These blessings. Who we could, as we say, could be attest to, or we could be witness to. Because now somebody standing and making that sacrifice in order, where blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians could really have a place of refuge. Where, we could really say, as you say, yeah, now we safe. We protected by the Lord. We had a covering. We had a shelter. Because now, the same thing as we read before, Moses was an example at that point in time. Say, the Lord and as we say, we forefathers. And now, as we say, we're going to see the ultimate sacrifice that our King, Yahweh, who is going to be king over the earth and over the nation of Israel. And the scripture says every knee is going to bow and every tongue is going to confess. They're going to come before they say the gates and them ain't going to be closed. It's not going to be closed. Night and day in service. Right? Go ahead.
Come, verse 15. That whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life.
And this is why, as I make mention before, we didn't just pick up ourselves and say, well, we believe this. Or it had men before us, searching all these records on them, as I say, searching for the identity. And then when as you say, when we go through the records and all now, you see where our forefathers praying unto the Lord to asking the Lord, to show us, to give us some insight, who he is. Give us some insight, why does this keep on happening to we? Give us some insight. And now we see, as we say, it coming to pass even today. Now we just had that hope, or as we say, we just had a assurance that what we talking about, we just talking about because we feel to talk about it and because it recorded it. As we say, we're not speaking exactly what been laid down, what been taught to us. Where our King taught, as we say, from the prophets again, from straight down. Been teaching from, as we say, over, I can't give a definition at years, but over that period of time, that we should get it right. And as you say, time and time again, the Most High just showing mercy on us. Now we're reaching to the point now, as you say, it had that breaking point now. We know, hey, yeah, we're going on. There is it now. There is it now. There is it now. We up on that time. But we know, as we say, we King never speculate, and we're not even going to speculate. We are the records. We are everything before. We are, as you say, the entirety before we. To know, hey, yeah, what's going on. This is the place of refuge. Righteous men walking after these records. Black men. I keep on expounding on black men because now people will hear you say black now and they will feel like black mean black. But black just mean, as you say, a low estate. African wasn't in no low estate. Because as they say, as you of that I always bring out from time to time, sometimes they have a seat in the UN. I know, as you say, black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, I any seat in the UN, in the United Nations. So this is why again, most I know again, bringing this reminder, and as you say, setting, go ahead.
No, so like,
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, setting this in order and making sure that, as you say, we had a place of refuge. Right? Go ahead.
Yeah, come on. Even as I mentioned that too, it's really, as I mentioned before, that people really have to come and sit down and learn. Because even as I mentioned, contact officer as well, promotes where black people, we don't have a seat in the UN. But people, because of simplicity and not understanding where we fall from in terms of rulership. We might be watching on the internet some African looking dusty, eating some who hungry, flying around the aisle, whatever the case might be. But we have to understand, just as I rightfully mentioned, when they talk about the condition, meaning black, we looking now based on history, where Israel fall from true power running the planet. To reach this condition is a low condition. Even if you reach the condition like Jay-Z, that still is the hardest fall. Because the Ethiopians was not given the planet to rule. So they eaten raw meat or whatever the case might be. You understand what I'm saying? Them can't consider that a fall. They catch it because it wasn't to the top, but Israel was the one to the top of the planet. And fall to this condition now. And when they really want to understand what real fall is not just the condition, the general always bringing that out, is that you lost your culture, you lost your identity, not just the atrocities you go through. That was one thing, but many other nations went through wars and battles, but they still have the culture, they still have the identity, they still know who is the people. But when it truly fall is when you don't even know yourself. You understand? That is the true measurement of a fall. You understand? So I just want to add that. So that's it.
If I may, just quickly on what Mr. Kabbalah said, right? And the hard thing is that fall is that you have nobody to fight with. You understand? None of the other nations are not in your own shepherds. You understand? Because even if you look at most persons familiar with the Black Panther director, you understand? Him having all this money, all this so-called wealth and status, you understand? He was still looked at as just a simple bank robber, even by his own people, because of white supremacy. Right. You understand? It's your own people watching you. You understand? In that degrading state. And that is something that, thanks to the I.S.U.P.K and the Commander General GEN.YAHANNA. You understand? But I tell you how I was trying that. He raising men that can understand and raise the value of our people. You understand? And remove that scale of white supremacy in your mind. Because people feel that white supremacy is just white people. But Asians, Africans, and even some of our own people adopt white supremacy in this way. How's it?
Right. That's right. So right. So again, these reminders will always be brought out from time to time. Lord, allow, or as you say, give the opportunity, and as been made mention before, as the general continue to bring out, as Commander General continue to bring out, be prepared.
Right.
Be prepared. Because now this place is the place of refuge. And we're going to see, as we say, brothers and sisters, seeking that refuge in a minute. Seeking that refuge in a minute. Right? So again, we always bring this to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, tune into the classes and them, log into I.S.U.P.K, the webpage, wherever country or wherever, particular hellhole you might be in, whether you might be in North, South, or Central America, there's a school, there's a place where you can really find refuge. Log in and contact the brother in charge at the school. Contact the brother in charge at the school, and just as he been taught to be that brother, he would teach you how to be a brother to your brother. Right? So again, this is I.S.U.P.K Trinidad and Tobago again, continuing in that spirit, in the work at the Most High on King Yahawashi under command of General Yahanna. Right? So, now pass the class, the priest and officer task will be there.
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Security announcements. We got the I.S.U.P.K. 125th Street out of New York under command of General Yahanna. New also brothers and sisters, when new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They have to be saluted for only. They're here to shut themselves up the world. After 6 months, if your brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21, and Malachi, chapter 3, 8 to 10. Means tenth in Hebrew, and it's pronounced Ma'aishara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the church, the department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you'd like to give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, the Lord's Passover, all right, and that is the 14th day of the first month, Friday, April 15, 2020. You can find this in the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verses 1 to 51. Leviticus chapter 23, verses 4 to 5. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 7 to 8. And 2 Chronicles chapter 30, verse 17. Right? Remember Akim and Agwathian, which is brothers and sisters, to check on social media such as ISUPK.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for I.S.U.P.K. events and materials. If everybody wants to be a trooper in the school, then needs to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, like shirts, like pants, headband or scarf. And with that, we say, imagine, right? So, to notice this. Right? See the last prayer in Hebrews, right? Abadaw, Shema Shemaya, Wadash, Ayah, Shamka, Yahau, Malakwaka, Tabaha, Ratazaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baratazak, Kawa, Ayah, Bashemaya, Natananaw, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Basalaknanaw, Kabubatnaw, Kasalaknaw, Kabutinaw, Wala'a, Tabaya Aina, Manasayawat, Hoshina, Mayan, Ra, Aya, Maka, Amalakwa, Wa'al, Atapara, Laiwalamia, Aman.
The English, our Father, chapter
thy name, Yahweh, the King of God, will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. This day, bread, daily bread, give us our debts, forgive our debtors, not temptation, deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. The blessings in the Hebrew. Bratatayahu, Wayawashai, Wamakala, Walahaya, Matazabia, Alawapihan, Alawapihan, Asranium, Akotazanium, Akielium, Wakwatium, Yahweh, Bashimi Washai, Wadama. English. Bless you, Yahweh. Bless you, Yahweh. Michael, the angel, general, captain, officers, troopers, and sisters. Yahweh, name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it. All right, I'll count the prayer for the power in Hebrew. Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Abukashah, Nathanael, Lakam, Akam, Lebanon, Slak, right? Akam, Barabah, Akam Makala, Akam Manawa, Akam, Lataha, Amatazariam, Akam, Lakoyam, Matia, Akam, Al-Rakwa, Atamal, Nagarshan, Bashimi Oshai, Wadaman. Yahweh, name of Yahweh, please give us the power. Please give us the power to heal, all manner of sickness, all manner of disease, cleanse the leper, raise the dead, organs and things, the cast them out. Name of Yahweh, thank you. So be it. When you read the I.S.U.P.K. courses,
Blessed are you, Yahweh.
Blessed are you,
King of heaven
King of
and
heaven
earth,
and
in all
earth,
things
in all things living.
Yahweh. Name of Yahweh.
Name of Yahweh.
Listen to us now.
Listen to us now.
Right
Right
now.
now.
Send evils and curses. Punishment and destruction. I speak against my prophet, teacher, princes, priests, Israelite, the school, send evils and curses. Punishment and destruction. And shake loose. Treasure of the rich of Israel. Refuse to give to the schools their riches. That I send evils and curses. Punishment and destruction. Edomites, the nation, their drug dealers, court systems, all of them, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, spies, army, navy, air force, marines, open up the internet, and the airways, cable access and the radio channels. Convict the spirit, any of thy people, that seek to stop us, bring swift destruction, all the evil, stand in the way, try to stop us, cast in your way, all the plans, all the places, cause them to go to the and consume them, let the plague take the house of the king and the mother, let the house shine. Michael, Gabriel, along with the plans, punish all the evil, come up against us. And speak thy words, to be known by all, the angels and spread through the media, the whole cause them to shake like the name of Yahweh. Thank you always.
So be it. Blessed is your Hebrew. Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Raklanau, Maishah, Obeya, Sapari, Arab, Rapa, Magun,
Command General, Captain, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, Destroy the Israel. Fight from the truth. I speak it worldwide, and their families. I speak Trinidad, and their families. I teach
Commanding General, Captain, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, all you destroy the Israel. Indian family, Muslim family, Philip family, Fletcher family, Sabrina, Amanda, Suzanne,
Commander General,
Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, destroy the Israel.
Philip family, John family,
Commander General, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Children, brothers and sisters fight the truth. Most upon destroy the Israel. Most upon the sick and nursing of Israel. Most upon all our families. Dylan, Francis, Joanna, Kimberly,
Commander General, Captains, Officers, Troopers, Sisters, Students, all the time of the truth.
Bashim Yahshai, Wadama.
In the English, Yahweh. Bless us, and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. Name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Beloved son, I'm going to give the teacher one good salute. Beloved John, I match him Shabbat. I match him. Alright. Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. Sir, beloved John, sir, we're going to give Yajimata. Sir, we're going to give the sisters online a good salute. Beloved John, I match him Shabbat. I match him. Alright. Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. Yajimata, dismiss. Right. Anyway, You know?